it's your boy Oscino Fly back with another review, and this time we are reviewing She-Hulk Attorney-at-Law. Now this is the full season review. I've already spoke to y'all about the first episode. I believe the last time I talked to you it was about the first episode and of me trying to give it a chance. As of right now, as of filming, the series is ended and I literally just watched the season finale of She-Hulk Attorney-at-Law. So let's have a discussion about it. I've been really listening to other YouTubers and how they feel about She-Hulk and Attorney-at-Law, and I'm not gonna lie, a lot of them has been shitting on it. Though they have a point, I did feel like a lot of them came from an incel point of view, but at the same time, watching this myself, I can't help to say I do agree with some of them that yeah, She-Hulk is kind of bad. I want people to understand that I'm really not trying to be like this incel or this whole we hate women thing, and like I literally gave this show a chance to a point where I can admit that there were some episodes that didn't make me laugh. I can admit that there was some where I was like, okay, they did something good here. I would like to see this all the fucking time. I never got to a point where I wanted to fully shit on this show because I felt like it didn't really deserve that. There was times where I felt like, oh, there's some good spots, and even like going back to review, it's like, well, there's some good spots in some of these episodes. Yeah, even when some of them was boring, there was some of them. Now, all the backlash that She-Hulk has garnered, is it really worth it? Now, I'm going to say yes, because even with me trying not to sound like a whole total incel, it is pretty bad. Is it one of the worst shows Marvel has really produced? I don't know. I didn't watch Miss Marvel. I heard House of Dragons is not that good too. I know that's not Marvel. Miss Marvel, I didn't even bother watching that, and I heard people didn't like that either. I thought Hawkeye was boring. The sad part is this is portrayed as a comedy. So I expected a little lightheartedness, but at the same time, I didn't laugh a lot. I don't know who to blame, because do I think the actors were bad in it? No. Do I think the writing was bad? Yes, I think the writing was really bad. I feel like if you had these same characters, and I feel like you would have gave them better writing material, we would have had a better fucking show. We already went through like episode 1 of how, you know, this whole She-Hulk rant about her knowing how to control more her anger than Bruce do. So we're not even going to touch that. Everybody and their mama done expound by that. What has happened after that? Well, our green-skinned friend that looked like Michael Jackson, you know, she loses the job, and then she's now working GK&H or some shit like that. She works at another firm where she has to stay as She-Hulk, and she solves cases in there. A lot of them cases are really like barely there. It's more or less about Jen Walters' single life. Never really about the court cases itself. Yeah, they're part of the plot, but they're never really the A plot. In my opinion, they're never really the A plot. I think the whole A plot of this whole series was just Jen being trying to go through life now as She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters. Even though they're kind of the same person, to where she's going out on dates, solving cases, and even fighting crime here and there. My biggest gripe about this is that, especially when it comes to the writing, every man in here except for Pug is a dick. Everybody is a fucking dick in this episode. Oh, and each episode is just like, for some reason, somebody's gotta be a dick to Jennifer, and it's usually a man. I don't want to sound like an incel when I say this, but it's just like, it seems like this whole thing was trying to say that all men are dicks. Now, I've done online dating myself, and I'm gonna say this from a man's point of view, and like, and as an average man, and from a man's point of view, it's not that good either on my side either. So it's just like, it really do feel like the bottom of the barrel. But I guarantee you, like, as bad as she had it with the men that was trying to see her, I can guarantee you there was probably men that, you know, had it worse. The dudes she was dating, they was either broke or stuck up with themselves, or, you know, they didn't like Jennifer Walters, they liked She-Hulk. And there's one character, like, you'll see him throughout the show, he was just obsessed with She-Hulk superpowers or some shit like that. It was just dumb. Now, I will say this. Were there good episodes in there? I think out of 9 episodes, I will say 2 of them was really good. And that would be episode 4 and episode 8. Episode 4, when they had Wong and Madison, 2 N's, 1 Y, and is that what you think? I know that some people didn't like her. I actually thought she was funny. I actually thought the character was good. And like, I was annoyed at first, but after a while the character grew on me in the same way it grew on Wong. And like, seeing Madison with Wong, it was actually kind of funny. I feel like the pair really fed off of each other. Episode 8, when they brought out Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, is also the one thing about 2 of those episodes. It has the most action packed, because in episode 4, She-Hulk is fighting off these demons that Donnie Blaze done fucking summoned from hell, and they're trying to put them back into hell. And episode 8 with Matt Murdock and the Daredevil, whereas, you know, one of her client is actually a villain, and he's doing shit, and, you know, you get this fight scene with She-Hulk and Daredevil, and then you get this whole hallway scene that anybody remembers the Marvel Daredevil. You get that with them. I thought Daredevil was cool, by the way. I don't think there was nothing wrong with his character. I think, and this is the one time where I say, if you complain about episode 8, something is wrong with you. I feel like that was the best episode they ever put, and I feel like that episode was very well done. My only gripe though, but I know why they did it. The episode 8, I feel like it lasts too long. I feel like at the end where, you know, after Daredevil did his walk of shame, and, you know, they was like, oh, we need to make you up for the gala. I felt like it could have ended there. But I think I know why they, you like, continue that is for people who never saw the episode. Like, I had to recommend my friend, if you have to watch one episode, go watch episode 8. And he was like, well, it got me interested to see episode 9 because of that ending, because there was some high stakes. And like, she, you know, anybody watch the episode, she got angry, start punching the TV, and everybody look at her as a monster, as an out of control Hulk, as an out of control Hulk. The season finale. This season finale was stupid. It's stupid because it broke the fourth wall to a point where I think it was trying to prove a point, but it didn't. It didn't do nothing. It didn't do anything. Matter of fact, that whole episode here's the thing. After what you saw of episode 8 and her losing her job, and, you know, her trying to figure out who was doing this, and how do we, you know, reconcile that? It starts off as that Todd, the person that's been annoying her the whole time, and one of the times went on a date with her, got one of the people to steal her blood. He turns into a fucking Hulk, and then all hell breaks loose. And then she's like, and then she breaks this fourth wall, goes into Marvel Studios in the writing, and it's just like, do we really have to do it this way? We have to do it, can we just do it our own way? And then she goes talk to Kevin, instead of, you know, being Kevin Feige, it's, I forgot what the what the acronyms were for Kevin. Kevin was an acronym, but it's an AI bot. When I figure out what Kevin stood for, I will put the analogy here, somewhere around here. That way you know what it is too. Then she talks to him about, you know, how you want this shit to be, but instead of, you know, showing it, she just says it and then it's done. And then it's like, whatever she was fucking saying, I felt like you could have put that into the episode. Instead, we get to the point where she's at the end and Todd is arrested. It's just like, I'll see you in court. Emil Blonsky has been like turning Abomination for some non-profit shit. Todd is the one that's running intelligence here. He's Hulk King and all that other stuff. I would rather have her fucking fight Hulk King and all that other bullshit than the ending that they gave us. I really would. I would rather have that, especially people that kind of, I understand this was a comedy. It was never really supposed to portray it as an action. But the few times where you finally get Bruce Banner, and I don't care if he really did fall out of fucking space just to come and like fight Abomination. I was like, I was literally like, finally some action, and then next thing you know, it was just like, what? And then that whole sequence found out. This is probably one of the worst finales that I have ever watched. And it's more confusing because the Proud Family ended off on a part 1. And I didn't like how that one just ended off on a part 1 because I waited like 2 weeks after, and just because I thought there was going to be another Proud Family episode because it ended off on a part 1. Come to find out, that's how they ended the season. This was worse than that. Now again, I am not here to shit on She-Hulk. I honestly feel like if we get more episodes like 4 and 8 throughout the entire season, I feel like no one would have complained. I feel like that's the type of episode that people would want. You don't even have to, it doesn't even have to be like you need Daredevil or the Hulk or even Abomination. Like She-Hulk could be doing this herself. I did not like the fight scene with her with Titania. I just want to say that. I thought that was really whack. And then especially since she fell on her face, her veneers fucking break, and then she just runs off. I was like, I'm disappointed. Overall, She-Hulk is very disappointing. I do not see it getting a second season. If it gets a second season, I am surprised. But I do not see She-Hulk getting a second season. And I am ashamed because I do like, I think her name is Tatiana. I do like the woman that plays She-Hulk. I do like her as She-Hulk. I feel like she does fit the role. The CG was hit or miss, in my opinion, a lot. There's sometimes it does. I'm not gonna say it looks like PlayStation 2 graphics, but I did watch old music videos where they did put CG in there, and I feel like it did compare with those, like iPhone 65 Blue Double D. And I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it did kind of compare with that. The CG is like not that good. I didn't mind any of the characters. I really didn't. It was like, okay, they're fine. All of them are really fine. But I do wish this show was written better. If this gets a second season, I will be surprised. Even though I feel like there's so much you can do from this. But if this show gets a second season, I will be hella surprised. Because I don't think this show is getting a second season. I also don't see them bringing her back, except for maybe like an Avengers movie, but I know they teased that, and I guess they're teasing something for the Hulk. It's like, I don't know, it's just disappointing. I'm not gonna be like, this is the worst show ever, but this is the most disappointing show. I will say that. She-Hulk is probably the most disappointing show that I have ever watched coming out of Marvel face. My expectations was not that high from it, but was interested to, even though I was interested to watch the show, my expectations was not that high to begin with, but I still feel disappointed because I feel like it could have been a better show and it fucking flopped for me. To the actors, look, I know you're defending the movie as hard as you can, especially Jamil on Twitter, but at the same time, it wasn't a good show. I'm sorry to say this, but She-Hulk was not that good. Let me know what you guys think about, what y'all thought about She-Hulk. Did y'all like the show? Did y'all hate the show? Do you feel like this going to garner a second season? I don't, but let me know what you guys think. Till then, my name is Oscino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.
Fancy ass man wear glove of rings, flying around town in a tub of wings. Found out how to make love to fiends. He mixing that fudge with the drug of dreams. She too teenage to have a drug of choice, but she fuck with that Royce like she love Detroit. She rolled. Pharaoh.